This is one of those movies where if it came out 40 years ago, I can almost guarantee that there would be a large number of people my age that would say that their dad made them watch it when they were way too young. It's time to talk about the Bikeriders. What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today I'm excited because we're talking about the brand new crime, drama, slice of life film, The Bikeriders. All you need to know about this one is that the story goes like this. After a chance encounter, headstrong Kathy is drawn to Benny, a member of the Midwestern motorcycle club, the Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Kathy and his loyalty to the club. Now, I'm not gonna say that I was ever in a biker gang myself, so to speak, but me and my friends back in the day became pretty notorious whenever we were cycling around the neighborhood. You'd be smart to hide your juice boxes if you ever saw me going out for a little afternoon ride. That's all I'll say. But if I'm being honest, motorcycle culture is something that I have to admit knowing very little about. Outside of dirt bikes and electric scooters, I don't think I've ever even taken a ride on a legitimate motorcycle that you need a license to operate. Well, luckily for me, I never have to now, because this movie perfectly captures the struggles, the perks, the relationships, and the attitudes that were present in the motorcycle gang scene throughout both the 60s and the 70s. Our director this time around is Nichols. He's done films like Midnight Special, Take Shelter, Mud, and Loving. I haven't seen everything that he's done, but he seems to be really interested in those more blue-collar and Americana style of stories. He definitely has a knack for capturing that type of vibe, and I don't know how he runs his sets, but it feels like he just kinda sits back with the camera rolling and lets these actors decide how they're gonna navigate through whatever situations they're given. He almost goes for a little bit of a Goodfellas vibe here with the heavy use of narration and how the events unravel chronologically. The way this all plays out kind of feels like half a documentary, half the type of story that somebody would tell you at a bar, and that's the perfect way to let this one breathe. I will say though that if that's how you've decided to approach a narrative like this, there's definitely going to be some lulls and slow spots along the way, but none that ever derailed the experience for me here. It's structured in a really cool manner because instead of going out of its way to tell you exactly how much time is passing over the course of the movie, it does it in the style of local folklore, where it's almost like you met up with an old buddy after being out of town for a while, and you're just like, hey, whatever happened to those guys? I found that to be super refreshing, and all of the actors involved here are totally game to feed into that larger-than-life motorcycle gang persona to make their characters memorable, even if they have very limited screen time. We're in good hands here, too, because you just look at the cast for this movie, and it takes about 5 seconds to see that it's pretty stacked from top to bottom. I mean, you have Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy leading the charge. But then you have guys like Michael Shannon, Norman Reedus, Mike Feist, and Boyd Holbrook rounding out this big group. That's an insanely deep roster, the type that you'd be crowning as the best ensemble of the year if movies that took place on desert planets didn't exist. Austin Butler does a pretty solid job here as the central character that we learn the most about. It's not his best work to date, but he's also not really required to show a ton of range. And Jodie Comer does a nice job as his love interest and our narrator, if you're able to get past the ridiculous accent that would be right at home in a Coen Brothers movie. But this is really the type of role that Tom Hardy was made to play. An aging, grumpy leader of a motorcycle gang that honestly doesn't talk that much, but when he does, you better be listening. And there's a lot of subtlety that comes along with his role, because as the years go on, not only is he trying to be the man he thinks this group of guys around him wants him to be, but he's also trying to be the man he so badly wants himself to be too. Because here's a dude that bases what American masculinity should look like off of what he sees on the television every night. And that's part of what makes this movie so interesting, because Austin Butler's character finds himself constantly being pulled back and forth between his wife and the motorcycle gang. Does he want to evolve and become domesticated, or does he want to rebel and continue to live life with no responsibility? And we've all been there, right? Do you want to make sure you're home on time for dinner with the missus, or have one extra beer with the boys? That's a lose-lose right there, brother. But this is definitely one of those movies where I feel that the overall journey is more important than the actual destination itself. Like, if you're sitting down to watch this one and expecting some incredible and profound conclusion at the end of it all, you might end up leaving the theater a little bit disappointed. Because much like life, the important and poignant and learning moments come along randomly as you work your way through it, much like this movie itself. Overall, guys, The Bikeriders is a film that couldn't be more up my alley if it tried to be. Tom Hardy is out there putting on a clinic. It's thought-provoking, it's entertaining, it's funny, and it's tragic in a lot of ways. The manner in which the story is being told isn't without its slow bits, but it offers up such an authentic and raw Americana experience, the likes of which I haven't gotten from a movie in a long time. I don't know much, but what I do know is that this is going to end up being your dad's favorite movie of 2024. The Bikeriders gets a Sully score of 4 stars. So that's my review for the new Motorcycle Gang movie. What do you think is the best film that Tom Hardy has ever been in? I'd probably have to go with Mad Max Fury Road, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.